kids that are going back to school, or our audience, or the people that we usually talk to, they have kids who are going back to school. And so we have this sort of like weird transition period in our businesses. We're far away from Summit, but we're not really near Christmas. And this transition period can be hard. It can be hard for our customers. It can be hard for us to connect with our customers. It can be hard for us to figure out who we're trying to target and if anyone's even really listening. And that's how we feel at the end of August. So it can be very easy to start to feel like you're burning yourself out, like you're just running yourself dry, and you start to question everything. You start to say, can I do this? Can I be successful at this? Do I really want this? Or maybe you have heard no one too many times, and you're starting to say to yourself, I don't think this is for me anymore. So tonight, I want to talk to you a little bit about what I figured out last year when I was going through everything I dealt with my cancer diagnosis. And that was that I had to have a balance. And so I was listening to this podcast, and I never really knew how to explain to my coaches how I was balancing everything, how I was figuring it all out. I never really understood how I kind of kept everything sort of in check. And so I was listening to this podcast, and she explained it in this great analogy. And I was like, that is perfect. That is exactly what our team needs. That is the exact thing that we all need to take into consideration. And as your upline coach, I want to be honest with you and say, I do not want anyone on this call to ever feel like this is your entire life, because it's not. You have life outside of Beachbody. You have demands. Some of us have full-time jobs. We have families. We have other things that are going on. This is meant to be an enhancement to your life. This is meant to be something that's going to help you achieve the other things that you want to be able to achieve in life. So with that sort of being said, I'm going to get to that. But before I get to that, I'm going to really quick just do a screen share. And I cleaned up my desktop a little bit, guys, so it's not nearly as scary as it was the last time we had a call. But I want to talk to you guys for a couple minutes. And I told you there's nothing fancy about my slides, but I've got to talk to you guys a little bit about something they announced at Summit, and that was the Portal app that they are coming up with. So what the Challenge Tracker Coach Portal is it is an opportunity for us to run our challenge groups outside of Facebook through this portal. So what they've asked a few of us to do is actually test run the portal and to create a group that is meant to sort of kind of let them see if there are bigger issues, or test run it and say, I want to be able to do this, or I'm doing this in my challenge groups and I can't do it in the portal app. Can we change this feature? And so it's actually a really cool opportunity. And I had the chance to run it with a group of challengers, but instead I thought I would rather run it with a group of coaches. And I want the coaches to be able to talk on their Facebook news feeds about this portal challenge. And I want them to be able to advertise it. And I want them to be able to really give feedback, not just from a participator challenge, from a participator standpoint, but from a coach's standpoint too. So I don't know if you saw my post last week, but this is actually an opportunity that's available to anyone who hits Success Club in August. So if you hit Success Club in August, I will be putting up a post about the Portal Coach Challenge. You can add your name or your email to the list, and I will add you to this group to be part of that beta test group. It's a great opportunity for you to test it out before you're actually able to roll it out to other challengers who might not actually be on Facebook. So another great opportunity. So let's talk about Success Club for a minute. It's the end of the month. It's the 31st. I know so many of us are like itching to just get on with September. So first of all, this is from last Thursday. So you might not see your name up there. You might say, Katie, I have more points on the board. This isn't up to date. And I know that, but these are the names that I had as of Thursday. So very cool. We had Heather, Rachel, Tiffany, Stephanie, Cynthia, Amanda, and Danielle all hitting the Success Club 10. And just a real quick reminder about the difference between hitting Success Club 5 and Success Club 10 is that with Success Club 10, you actually get Success Club leads. And those leads are actually when you receive commission from the get-go. So those are people who have ordered Shakeology, which is a coach exclusive product. So that means that the commission is given right away to coaches. So usually on average with the Success Club leads and how it's sort of been working out, I get about $100 commission a month just on the Success Club leads. So when you find yourself at that point where you're at Success Club 5, push yourself to 10, because that means commission. That means more leads for you. And it also means that you're bringing on more customers. So it's just another thing that you can push towards. Success Club 5 is a fantastic achievement. It means that you're helping 3 brand new people into your business every month. And that's fantastic too. So we have so many names on the board of people that are right there for Success Club. And by right there, and I'm looking at some of the names and I'm like, I know that she got it. I know Lindsay, I know you got it already. I know that it's kind of hard to see these names, but you know, I am always going to be that coach that is extremely adamant that it has mattered to me. It has made a difference in my business. It is the one thing I know that I could do consistently in the business that's going to drive it forward. So congratulations to everyone who is working towards Success Club, everyone who is changing lives and inspiring people and helping them get healthier through the challenge packs. So September, I don't know if you checked it out yet, but if you have your notebooks out and you're somebody who likes to plan ahead a little bit, so we have 2 challenge packs on sale. We have PIO going on sale. I did not look closely at the exact time that the PIO will go on sale. That will be on sale as a challenge pack for $140, which basically means you can order the Shakeology and get PIO for $10 more. And they are extending the 3-day refresh. It is a fantastic way for you to get people who are reluctant right now, right after Labor Day. People are going to be doing their last parties of the summer. They are going to, you know, eat and overindulge too much, and they're going to want to get back on track. So it's a great idea for us to really start talking about the 3-day refresh now, and then really hone in on it on Sunday and Monday of next week after Labor Day. And people are going to remember that. They're going to say, what was that 3-day thing that Laura was posting about? What were they saying something about that? And boom, you get Shakeology for a month, and for $10 more, you're going to help them kickstart their results with the 3-day refresh. So it is a win-win situation. If you yourself have not done the 3-day refresh, and Lauren, I know you're on this call and I'm not talking to you because you're pregnant. Please don't do the 3-day refresh while you're pregnant. If you have not done the 3-day refresh, check it out. So it's 3 days. There's a fiber sweep. There's the vanilla shakes. You drink your Shakeology with it. You're still eating food. You're eating fresh fruits and vegetables. You get a healthy fat with it too. You feel pretty good. And so I've done it about 3 times, and each time it does get easier. Each time I lose the bloat from the weekend ahead. I, on average, lose about 3 or 4 pounds with it. You know, order it, do it now, and then, you know, you have your results. You can share your results, and people love it. They love that idea of something really quick, and then they're going to be motivated by those results, and they're going to want to take it one step further, and they're going to want to be in your challenge group. So that is what I have for Success Club coming up in September. If you're working towards that, which I hope you are, and they actually have a really cool gift for everybody who hits Success Club 5. It's kind of insane, actually. But Beachbody On Demand, you can access all of P90X, P90X2, P90X3 for free on Beachbody On Demand. However, because of that, I believe there's been some kind of shift in their inventory. So they have all of these P90X, P90X2, P90X3. So what are they going to do? They're going to reward the coaches. who are helping other people. So you are going to get P90X, P90X2, and P90X3 as a bundle package when you achieve Success Club in September. That is amazing to me. That is just an amazing opportunity. Why wouldn't you want to do that? You know, you think about it. You achieve that. You have these great DVDs. You can actually gift them, right, to people that you want to help get healthy throughout the holidays. So that's just a thought about Success Club in August. So I really want to get to the meat of the call, but before I do that, I want to go into the Knockout Brigade and explain to you what I'm doing for this Coach Basics. So one more time, I'm going to bring that up. All right, so when you go into the Knockout Brigade, and did you guys know about this? If you go into Chrome, you can actually kill your news feed so you won't be distracted. It's amazing. I don't have a news feed, and it's wonderful. So if you ever want me to see your post, you have to tag me though. Okay, so when you're in the Knockout Brigade, if you click on the photos section and you click on albums, you're going to see the Knockout Brigade New Coach Academy. And when you click on that, there's about 10 images in there that is our Coach Basics. So our Coach Basics is broken down for coaches. This is where I'm sending my new coaches. And there's a button that says Start Here. And when you click on it, there's a YouTube video for you to watch about how the new Coach Basics is going to work. There is a breakdown every Tuesday at 8:15. If you're in the downline, if you're a new coach, if you're somebody who just wants to go back to the basics, it's going to break down by week. I'm going to do a 4-week rotation, and every week I'm going to be talking about one of these topics that new coaches need to know. And so I have the link, 8:15 every Tuesday are those calls. I have all of my challenge group guides available for new coaches. I have a great beginning call for coaches so that they can learn more. And then what I want to click on so that you guys see is phase 1, and how it's broken down is so easy for our coaches now. They now have the phase 1 of the new Coach Academy, and all they need to do is click on each one. It's broken down into days. So if they are somebody who wants to go in and click on day 1, they click on it and it takes them back to the Facebook page, and they have in there what they're supposed to focus on for the day. And these images are all in the Knockout Brigade. But what happens is when they click on it through what I just showed you, they see it then pop up in the Knockout Brigade, and they can go right into what that image is. And it has in there what the assignment is. So it has specifically what they're supposed to focus on for that day. So the cool thing is when they're done with it, they can tag their upline coach. And whoever their upline coach is gets to say, okay, she did the day 1 assignment. That's awesome. I'm going to follow up with her. I'm going to make sure I check her wall to make sure she did her post. I'm going to just do a really quick check-in with her about if she had any questions about the assignment or whatever it might be. So it allows them to work at their pace. It allows them to work, if they can work faster, they want to go through it faster, they can. But it's divided into 3 distinct phases for our coaches, and you as the upline are now involved with them instead of me leading just the group. The only thing that I am really leading are those calls, those Coach Basics calls for the coaches. You as the upline are still doing the essentials when they're tagging you in the assignments. So that is what that is all about. And it's very easy to find. It's a little bit different than what we're used to doing. So it might take an adjustment or 2. It might take a little time to get used to, but I really think it's something that's going to work really, really well for our coaches. But tonight, let's change our focus and let's talk about the seasons of the business, okay? So what I need everybody to do for just a second is just take a deep breath and know that you are on this call for a reason, that you matter, that what you're doing in this business is making a profound impact on somebody's life. You matter. You matter to the team. You matter to your customers. You matter to your coaches. And when you believe that and you feel that, you start to see the change and you start to see growth. But I think, like anything, when we look at a business, it is so hard sometimes to take ownership of it and to really think of ourselves as CEOs. And in this type of business specifically, what I have found is that it's really easy to get into these habits of comparing ourselves and feeling like I'm never doing enough. Like I just can't do enough. There's always more to do. There's always more to say. There's always something more to learn. And it can get to the point where it's just exhausting, to the point where it's easier to throw our hands up and say, I can't. And no one would judge you because people have done it in the past and they've moved on and they've moved forward and they're fine. But then if you really sit down and think about it, like if you have those moments of doubt and those moments of overwhelming senses of I just can't keep up, it's time that you realize that there are seasons to the business. And there are 4 seasons that I want to talk about tonight and I want to share with you tonight. And those 4 seasons are the season of restoring, the season of creating, the season of celebrating, and the season of growing. So I'm going to start with the most obvious ones. And that is the season of growth. We know in this business that if we want to be able to move forward, one of those vital behaviors that we talk about is our personal development. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. It's also the easiest thing in the world not to do. And in most cases, when people get frustrated and they feel like giving up or they feel overwhelmed, when you ask them, tell me about what you're reading, tell me about your personal development, they can't say that they're doing it. A quarter, so 25% of your business is spent in growth. And not just in the areas of what you need to change, not just in the areas of what you need to work on. So for example, if you say, I really struggle with confidence, yeah, you should be doing personal development to really foster those skills, to really make yourself better at being more confident and acknowledging the things that you struggle with and working on them. But one thing that I want to ask you honestly, do you focus, understand, and acknowledge your strengths? Do you know what you're good at? And if you know what you're good at, do you hone in those skills? Do you actually say, I focus on those skills? As a teacher, it used to drive me nuts in the classroom when we would take students who struggled in an area and we would almost sacrifice the things that they were really good at to give them more time at the things that they struggled with. So if a kid was really good at art, but they stunk at math, we would take them out of art and we would make them do more math. And I think that was the worst thing that we could ever do with our children is to take their skills away from them, their strengths away from them to focus on a weakness. Because when you become so laser focused on your weaknesses, you forget your strengths. You have to be in touch with what your strengths are. You have to know what your strengths are. You have to know what you are good at giving to other people. And if you don't know what your strengths are, have a conversation with your spouse. Have a conversation with your best friend. Have a conversation with your mom or your dad about what they see in you. And it might be like one of those weird conversations where you say, I'm supposed to ask you what you think I'm good at. But I'm telling you, nobody knows you better than those type of people, and they're going to be honest with you. And sometimes you're surprised at the things that they say, but you really want to be open to hearing what they have to say. So let's start with a little bit of reflection on this growth period. And I don't think there's a better time than the end of a month and the start of a new month when we're getting ready to sort of plan our marketing strategy for what we're doing in September. But first of all, you want to reflect on what you are good at. What are you most that shouldn't say post, that should say proud. I'm sorry. What are you most proud of? You have to take time to say, what did I do in August that I am really proud of? What did I achieve that I am really proud of? What is something in my personal life, in my business, in my fitness goals? What did I do that I am proud of? And take some time to reflect on that. Number 2, what are your top priorities in your life? What is the most important thing to you? Is it time with your family? Is it fundraising? Are you passionate about teaching? What are your priorities? What are the things that you find to be the biggest value in your life? The things that have to take precedence over all other things. The third one is where it gets sort of tricky. And that is, I want you to seriously look at what you did in August and say, where did I spend most of my time? So is that in line with what your priorities are? So if, for example, even in your business, if you're focusing on your business, if your goal was to make $100 a week consistently, were the things that you were doing matching what that priority was? If your goal was to rank advance to Emerald or rank advance to Diamond or Ruby or whatever it was, were your actions in line with those priorities? In your personal life or in your fitness life, if your goal was to lose 5 pounds in 4 weeks, were you doing the workouts? Were you doing the meal plans? Were you giving it 100%? And I don't want you to say if you did or you didn't, but I want you to reflect on it, and I really want you to think about it. What were my priorities and where was I spending my time? The next one, how do you feel in general? How do you feel physically? How do you feel spiritually? How do you feel emotionally? How do you feel mentally? It's hard to gain any type of balance when one or two of these things are sort of off. So if you feel good physically, but you're really off with your personal development and you're emotionally like a train wreck, chances are it's going to ripple. It's going to come into play into your physical goals. It's going to come into play in the workouts that you're doing. It's important that you find balance in all of those regards. And this one is kind of one that I ask myself, and I don't know, because I feel good when I'm helping other people, like when I'm doing good things. So what was the last kind act you did? And this might sound crazy, but schedule one to do. And it doesn't mean you have to pay money. It might just be, volunteering at your child's classroom, or, popping in to see your grandmother who might be a little bit older, or calling a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Because what happens is when you do those things, you smile and you start to feel good. And when you start to feel good, you start to feel good about other areas of your life. You start to really feel good about wanting to work out. You want to develop your business. You want to grow your business. You want to be able to spend more time with your family. It is 100% a ripple effect. That is one season of your business. That is where we're going to spend 25% of our time is on growth. Here is where we spend way too much time. And this is when we get into the activity. And this is the busy work, which we can really dwindle down to fewer hours, but we spend a lot of time here. But we can change that. We don't have to spend hour upon hour on invites. We can simplify this, but it does take some focus. So what is creating? Well, this is the activity. This is the what we do as coaches. So this is kind of the verb of everything. So this is our activity. So this is when you're setting your goals. So you sit down and you say, all right, September, this is what I want to be able to achieve this month. I want to hit Success Club 10. I want to hit it by the 10th. This is why I want to hit it by the 10th. This is how I'm going to hit it by the 10th. This is the things I'm going to do, and this is the action I'm taking to do it. So it's actually doing the things you're going to say. So it's the daily activities that are in line with what you want to be able to do. So this is, posting, this is inviting, this is blogging, this is following up, this is your challenge groups. For some, other coaches, this is leading your team. This is posting on your team page. This is all of the to-dos. This is the season of go, 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 go. Just do it, do it, do it. And this is where it can eat you alive. This is where it can get to the point where it's going to burn you out. So the problem with this season is that it's important. You need to be in it. You need to invite. You need to do your basics. You need to post. You need to, follow up. You need to do all of those things. But the problem is somebody is always in this season. So when you stop for a second and you take a breath and you look on Facebook and somebody else is in this season, somebody else is creating, somebody else is doing, all of a sudden you're comparing yourself to their season. You are comparing yourself to where they are. You are comparing yourself to how fast they are growing. You are comparing yourself to what you should be doing, when in actuality, it's just not your season. It's their season. So when you're so focused on your goals and your actions are in line with those goals, your activities line up to those goals, it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. It doesn't matter. But if you're not in that season, if you're not in that season of creating, you need to take a step back and you need to stop seeing what other people are doing and thinking, I have to live up to what they're doing. So how do we do that? How do we get out of the season of create? Because this is where most coaches reside, in the season of create. They're in the season of create and they're in the season of growth, and that's it. But there's an analogy in this. It's the farmer, right? So a farmer has to also harvest. A farmer has to take time to make sure that the soil is fertile. And so in order to do that, there has to be two other seasons to your business. And this is two that for me are very hard to do. And one of them is to celebrate. So it's August 31st, which means this is the day that we should do it. This is the day that we should really take a step back and say, I rock. I'm amazing. I am enough. I did something truly wonderful. Celebration should start every day in your life in the morning. And it's a gratitude piece. It is about waking up in the morning and saying, I am enough. I am going to give freely of myself. I am going to help other people. And I am going to in my head, say something good about myself before I even start my day. Because if you're starting your day with a to-do list, or you're starting your day with something, thinking about something you failed at, or you're starting your day with the things that you have to do or have to achieve next, you're never taking time to really harvest what you've already done. You're never taking time to appreciate the things that you've already done. So let's say, for example, that you achieved something amazing in your last month. You achieved something really that you're proud of. Maybe you achieved your weight loss goal. Maybe you achieved a monetary goal that you set for yourself. Stop focusing on what you want to do next for a minute and focus on what you did. And what happens is it starts to make you feel like, wow, I am good at this. And then it starts to impact the way you post. It starts to impact the way you talk. It starts to impact the way that other people see you, because they start to see it as acceptable to start to celebrate themselves. So I take it a step further and I think to myself, what does a day of celebration look like? Or what does it mean to celebrate a success? So with challengers, I might say something like, okay, your first week in your challenge group, and you stuck to your meal plan and you did an amazing job with your meal plan. How will you celebrate it? It might have been that you used to celebrate it with food, but this time I want you to celebrate it by taking your family on a Saturday morning hike. Or maybe go buy yourself a pair of Nike shoes, or in something that makes you think, what does that look like to me? How does it feel to celebrate? Is it that you maybe buy yourself fresh flowers for your house, or you do something where it's like you just journal, or you instead say, well, I want to celebrate and I want to do nothing. I want to just turn on the Kardashians and watch mindless television and act like it doesn't matter. But that celebration piece is so pivotal, because you want to remember how you feel when you achieve a goal. And I want to give you a little anecdote about this, because it's something that I didn't realize that I never do. I don't do this. I never celebrate. And I think I realized it at Summit. And it goes back to when we were raising funds for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And we had raised about $70,000, which is pretty amazing. It's pretty cool, but we left there thinking it wasn't enough. And we left there thinking, like, I can't celebrate it because I failed, because we didn't win. We weren't named Woman of the Year, and somebody raised 2 times as much. And instead of focusing on, holy cow, we raised $70,000, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, somebody did it better. Somebody did it faster. Somebody brought in more money. Their money matters more. They matter more to the cause. It means more to them. And all of a sudden, that amazing thing that we did was no longer that amazing. And at Summit, when that shifted and I was awarded the Humanitarian of the Year, it suddenly became clear that it was enough. But I never took the time to celebrate it. I never took the time to really reflect on that achievement and say, look at what we accomplished as a team. Look at what we were able to do. And instead, I shut it down, and I was like, all right, on to the next goal. What do I need to focus on? What do I need to do? Because I felt like I had failed it. And instead of celebrating what I had achieved, I just blocked it out, like it didn't even happen. And that's a little bit of a hard thing for me to talk about, because it was so amazing and so many people were a part of that. But that feeling of it just wasn't enough prevented me from celebrating all of the amazing things that came from it. So I want you to think about that in your goals and in your life, and the things that you feel like you fall short on. Somebody else is probably looking at you and going, how in the heck did she do that? How is she that amazing? How did she achieve that? Your own transformation. Somebody is looking at you and going, how did she do that? Somebody is looking at your posts in the morning and saying, like, wow, that is amazing. But if you aren't going to celebrate it, nobody else is going to think it's acceptable to do it either. So take a step back and be specific and say, I want to celebrate my success. And I don't care what your success is. I don't care if it's that you hit Success Club 500 or you hit Success Club 2 and you sold your first challenge pack ever. Whatever it is, celebrate it because you achieved it. You did amazing. And you cannot harvest more good things if you don't take time to really relish in the things that you've already achieved. Make sense? And the one that is impossible for most Beachbody coaches, you gotta rest. You've gotta do it. And it's hard. It's hard, and I get it, and I understand it, because my husband and I have fought over this phone so many times to put it down. But the truth of the matter is, guys, I think it's, again, the nature of this business. It makes it easy for us to look at the success of the others and see what other people are doing and feeling like, I can't stop. I need to go because they already did it and I'm not there. And I'm like, I'm not there. Like, I need to go. Like, I don't deserve to rest. When in actuality, that's like the complete opposite. Because some of the best ideas that you will ever have, and the best kind of realizations you have about the things that go on in your business come as a result because you took that time to rest. You took that essential time to rest. All right, so how do we do it? Well, the first thing that you've got to do is you've got to put your phone down. And I don't mean you just put your phone down, but you put it down and you put it away. You turn it off. You give it to your spouse and you tell them to hold on to it, and you become present in your moments, with your family. And yeah, there's a challenge pack sale that's waiting. There's a customer that needs to get back to you. There's a coach that needs you. There is nothing more important than being present with the people that you care about. Your kids or your husband should never be a distraction. They're the reason why you're doing this in the first place, right? But when you are having your phone in your hand and you're not present, you are basically saying that they're second to this, and they shouldn't be. This is a business. It's an important business. I love what we do. I'm passionate about what we do, but it is a business. So how do you give that time to yourself? How do you get into the phase of restore, where you can put your phone down and you can be present? To be honest with you, this is where the hustle comes in. I schedule it and I'm prepared for it. So when I'm setting my goals at the beginning of the month, I look at where do I want to be and what do I need to do before I can get to that season of restoring. So for me, it's that I might need to work my butt off without any distraction, without my phone in my hand, without music on, but I am like laser focused on getting done what I need to get done so that I can enjoy that season of restore. Whether it's a day or a few hours in the evening, when I'm working, I'm laser focused on my work. And I make sure that I don't have those distractions so that I can be truly present when I can. This is not the same as growth. Restore is just that. Growth is personal development. That's part of your business. But when I'm talking about restoring, I mean that you are relaxing. You are engaged with the people around you. You are doing something that you love that isn't necessarily connected to the business. We all need that essential time to restore. So I was thinking about this part, and this is one of the hardest things for me to do, especially because I have that go. Like I feel like if I stop for a second, my business will crumble, and I won't be successful, or I'll watch everyone be successful while I fail. And that's not the case. Every time I truly restore, every time I truly rest, and I don't mean like 10 minutes here and there, but when I actually put my phone down and I spend time with my family undistracted, and I truly mean undistracted. I mean, I don't have my phone, I don't have my business, and I'm not thinking about my business. I am ready to go again. I feel truly restored. I feel ready to move on to my next goal. I feel like when I have that, I can take that deep breath and know that this is just one of the seasons. So when you're looking at these seasons, the seasons of celebration, of the season of restore, the season of growth, the season of creativity, where are you mostly? And are you distinctly in one of those, or are you so busy trying to create that it's kind of flowing into your season of restore, and you're deciding not to celebrate because you've just got that next goal on your plate. Look at how these are laid out and ask yourself, what season am I in? You know, what season am I making sure that I'm putting time into, that I'm focusing on? Because when you realize that, and when you're focusing on these different seasons, you're going to find balance. You're going to have a balance. It's going to make you easy. It's going to make it easier to laser focus on your business when you can, and focus on the tasks that need to be achieved, so that you can go back to that season of restore and truly be restored. And when you celebrate, you're taking that time to really say, I'm good. I am enough. I am good at this. And I don't care what everybody else is doing. And I don't care how fast everybody else is growing. I achieved something amazing. And you're focused on that part of it too. So I hope that tonight you're doing some major reflection on the month that you just had. And then you're also thinking about, am I really truly engaged in these different seasons of my business? Am I truly, putting my fullest potential when it comes to creating? Am I really doing those vitals, and am I rocking them so that when it comes to the season of restore, I can feel good in that season? Does that make sense? Was this a call that was kind of like, I get it? Or what are your thoughts in listening to this? Let me see the chat button. Do you guys feel balanced? And it's weird because I don't know if sometimes I just have this innate sense that I can tell when the balance is off, and I can feel it. I can feel it with my coaches. I can feel it with the team. And it's almost like there's this moment of, am I enough? And you are. You matter. You matter a lot. You matter a lot to me. You matter a lot to your customers. You matter a lot to a lot of people. But you matter most to you. And you need to have balance so that you can give in other areas of your life. That balance is critical. I'm not saying don't push for your goals. I'm not saying that life doesn't get out of balance. If you know much about what happened at the beginning of August for me, and I know that my cup team knows this, I was really off balance because I was so focused on the create. And now I have to remember, okay, we did something amazing as a team. I need to take that time to sort of celebrate it. And I know at the end of the month, I achieved that Success Club goal. So now I need to take a minute and restore. And then I need to take some growth and say, what do I want for my team? What do I know that we need to focus on? What are the things that I can give to my team? But I have to find the balance between those 4 seasons. So what else do you guys have for me? Do you guys have questions, or do you guys want to just talk for a couple minutes about your business, or things that are going on, or things that you're struggling with, or is there anything that I can help you with? Oh wait, I have comments. Yeah. And Taylor, you had and I know you had a lot going on in your life, and so you needed that 2 weeks of restore. So if you look at it that way, and so next year, or when you feel that coming, you almost say to yourself subconsciously, you say, this is going to be that season of restore for me. And I'm going to acknowledge that, and I'm going to turn off my phone, and I'm going to allow myself that time. But when I go back, I am going to go back, and I'm going to create, and I'm going to do growth, and I'm going to focus on those other things. But you do need to give yourself that. Yeah, right. Yes. And Rachel, it's no celebrate. You have to take that time to celebrate, you just have to. Yeah, it has been a push. And it's not about slowing down, but it's the balance piece of it. It's about getting back to the balance and making sure that everything is sort of you're making that time for your family. You're making that time for running because running is important to you. You know, you're making that time for your health, and you're finding those balance. And when you find that, everything else sort of comes together. I know from experience that when I'm off balance, my family life is off balance and my business is off balance. And my coaches, and I see it start to become off balance. And it starts with me, and it's that ripple effect on the team. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, no, you do. And so, I mean, I showed you guys my news feed. So I am a closet competitor. I'm very open with people about being very competitive. And I'm very competitive with myself. I always have been. I never played sports because I was so competitive. I actually would play like running worked for me when I did it. And track worked for me because I just wasn't good with competition because I didn't do well in those environments. So I get that. And the blinders are good, but when you actually go into Chrome and you kill, it's like just Google in Chrome, kill the news feed, and you all of a sudden have that distraction gone. And so I'll actually consciously look at a couple coaches. So I'll try to go in and make sure that I see my coaches. And when they tag me, I definitely see it. But for the most part, like my upline coach, Melanie, she knows I don't even follow her. And I love her. She's one of my best friends, but I needed to do that for me. And so if that works for you, you do that for you. And then you just kind of go in once in a while and you say, okay, what's Chelsea Pearson up to? Or what's Melanie Mitro up to? Or what's Katie Ersta up to? Or whatever it might be. But yeah, sometimes you need that. Yeah, blinders are good. Yeah. I feel like I got away from scheduling this summer. Yep, is always, but yes, summer is tough. And the whole month of August is the shift from going back to not having that schedule and kind of doing whenever, wherever, and then going back into the school and being like, I need to get back on a schedule. So September tends to be a pretty good month because people want to be back in balance. So you're right. Yeah. And talk about that. If you're off balance, what better group would there be than finding balance? Like the workouts and, you know, your mindset and all of that, like finding balance. Do you know how many people, like all of us on this call are going like, yeah, I feel off balance. Do you know how many people you know in your life who are saying the same thing? So start posting about it and talking about it, or maybe in September, have that as something in your business and just find that, well, how can this help other people? So, you know, do some research, read some articles, find some motivational posts, or dig into those kind of things. And so you can focus on that, and it's just going to help you too. For sure. What else do you guys have? I never thought I could do it, but just having that time before everyone else is, yes. Besides Melanie. Yeah. Yeah, it is good. I know for me, so for me, I haven't been waking up at 5. I've been waking up at like 6:30, but it's because I've been resting in the evening, and Mike and I have been watching TV together. So I will go downstairs after this call and we will just spend a little bit of time together. And we need that, you know, that's important too, because he knows that I work a lot of evenings, like from 8 to 10. So from 10 to 11, I spend that time and I shut off my phone and, you know, I shut off Facebook. And so I can be present with him. Thrive right now. Thrive. I don't know that one. Who's the author? Do you know? Yeah. Yep. Shannon, the other one, I actually have a Sendable account too. I think it's the same thing. I just had trouble with Hootsuite and the images. And Rachel, if I didn't tell you that, because I know you kind of are back at work too, Hootsuite is a good one. You should look at, is Hootsuite free? Okay, thank you, Lauren. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, you do. You do for sure. Cool. Awesome. All right, guys, do you guys have any other questions? I'll be sure to post this call. I definitely think it's worth sharing with your teams. This is that kind of call where people say to you, I can't handle it all. I feel off balance. This is the kind of call where you want to say, okay, try this, look at this and ask yourself, am I off balance? And go back to it and say, is it because I haven't done any of these things? Like I haven't celebrated. I haven't, I'm not resting. And chances are that that's probably a part of it too. So, yeah. Well, I'm very proud of you. I'm blessed to be on this team, and I just thank you all for a little bit of time tonight. I hope you have a great night. Bye, guys.